You're watching Traveling Tall, brought to you by Custom Dynamics, Zippers Performance, Chromeworks, and Redline Oil. I knew I had to change the oil at 500, and I'm going to be in Daytona probably when I reach 500, so figured I'd change it now to get everything ready for Daytona. We about to ride, we about to ride. I got to ride all the way. Alright guys, so in today's video we're going to be doing an oil change on this 2019 Street Glide. Now you know the only oil that I use is Redline synthetic oil. This is the Beach Wind 20W50 Power Pack. Riding season is almost here. I want to make sure I get the oil changed on the Street Glide. I also have a couple other things that I'll be showing you today. This is my Let's Roll 2.0 dolly, which I'm going to be putting together to do the oil change on my Street Glide. If you see the Road King over there, you probably can't see the dolly, but it's on the Let's Roll Cruiser Dolly 1.0. This is the new improved one. There are some changes. It's better suited for 21-inch wheels. It gets it up higher off the ground, and definitely better for changing oil. So I'm going to get this put together, then get the bike lifted up on it, and then get to the oil change. By the way, I also stopped by Harbor Freight and got this Pittsburgh oil filter wrench. That's supposed to make it a little bit easier to get it to change that oil filter. And this Pittsburgh waste oil storage container, and it takes up to 18.5 quarts of oil, which that's going to be perfect. So I got that, just picked that up this morning because I knew I was going to be doing this oil change. First things first, let's get into this Let's Roll lift box and get this put together. Then we're going to get into the oil change. Let's go. For the oil drain pan, which is right here. I'll set that aside there, and we're going to put it under there. And I have my 5/8 socket already under here, ready to go. So this is Daytona. Mary McLeod Bethune right here in the heart of Daytona Beach. Now you know the spot. All you see is bike, glide everywhere. Alright, so let's loosen it up and let the oil drain. Try to catch the plug. It's loose now. We're trying to catch this plug so it don't fall in the oil, which is always hard to do. By the way, the bike has been ran a little bit, warmed up, and I'll let it sit for as long as it took me to put that lift together, which is about 15 minutes. The oil drain plug is in front, and let me show you if you can see that right there. You probably can't see that. Yeah, it's too dark. You can't see it, but it's in the front right there. Yep. Now while that's draining, I'm gonna actually open up the oil filler cap to get it to flow a little bit faster. matter what you try to do, the last drip, well, if I had a paper towel it wouldn't, always seems to drip on my exhaust. Well, it didn't that time. Okay. All right, so now it's draining a whole lot faster. So this is the same oil that's been in it since I got the 128 motor done. You know, guys, if you're new to the channel, this is the new 128 motor. If you can see, that's my Zippers Performance Zulu badge. Has a Zipper Z logo right there with the Zulu shield behind it. So this is my 128, which I call Zulu. It used to be called the 124, but it's not a 124 anymore. So had to change names. And I might only have like 400 miles on it since they did the whole motor. This is a completely built motor from the ground up. I knew I had to change the oil at 500, and I'm going to be in Daytona probably when I reach 500, so figured I'd change it now to get everything ready for Daytona. And also with this lift, the new Let's Roll lift, I like that it does sit the bike up a whole lot higher, gives you more room to work and do oil changes, and it helps you that you're not bent over when you're cleaning the motorcycle. So I'm gonna get everything like saddlebags off and everything washed up and cleaned really good before I go down to Daytona. A whole wash and wax and detail, getting some of these creases and cracks. It's gonna rain. It rains every year in Daytona, but at least I know I started off with a clean bike. That's all that matters to me. So now that's draining, still draining. We're gonna get the oil filter off. I don't know how good this is gonna work. This one you're supposed to just be able to stick it in there and turn it, which I don't know if I have a clear path to do that. Okay, so while that was draining, I actually tried that little wrench, the oil filter wrench, which I'm sure is very good for an automobile, but it does nothing for this motorcycle. There's not a clear path to go in there and turn it. Well, this thing that I got didn't work. Now this is gonna work. Put this on there like that. Okay, so now it's turning. Now let me get the oil pan back up here just in case. I did really good. I don't have a drop of oil on the driveway. Not one drop. I really like this oil pan. Put that under there. Now it's time. There we go. I'm beating up my horn all together. There we go. Finally. Got it. Here we go. Get it out here. Got some oil running out of there. Finally got it. Look how bad this thing is beat up. Trying to get that off. Set this on top of the oil drain pan. Take that to the recycle later on today. Here's the funnel that they give you. That's nice. Redline oil, says Redline right on it. And here's the hat. Redline oil hat here. 20W50 motorcycle oil. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 right here. Now this right here is the complete fuel system cleaner. I run this in my tank every time I fill up. Half of a bottle of this in there. And here's your V-twin transmission oil. And here is your V-twin primary case oil. Redline oil decals, big ones, and 2 little ones. I like that they include the funnel. Now the good thing about having this on the Let's Roll stand, besides being able to besides being able to flip everything around so easily for the camera, is I still have room to even change the primary way it's positioned on the stand. And I'll tell you what, that oil drain pan is just, that was a win. The oil filter wrench, that was a definite lose, but this is working out pretty good right here because it's going to drain right here, the plug underneath. Let's get the primary cover and get the primary fluid changed. Alright, so we're going to put the primary drain plug back in and tighten that up. Now let's fill it up with some primary fluid. So we're going to use our Beach Twin primary case oil, and I'm grateful that it has a long neck on it, makes it easier to pour. Also, if you have one, which I don't have one here, I got one at my dad's house, but not mine, it's his. You could kind of like a primary funnel, where you can use that to pour the primary in. It's a whole lot easier, primary oil in. It's a whole lot easier than what I'm doing here. All right, so now we're going to put the primary cover back on, then change the transmission fluid, then we're done. The only downside to that thing that I use to get the oil filter off is it doesn't work to put it on. Let me just make sure, one more little turn on it, just to make sure that's on. All right, so let's fill it up with some oil. I'm using 20W50. They have two weights, but 20W50 is what I prefer to use in my motorcycle. And that's the good thing about the Let's Roll Cruiser dolly. And this one is even better because you are up a lot higher, makes it easier for oil change. And if you got a 21 like I do, you can see that the wheel's off the ground. So it would even go for like a 23-inch wheel. Now the last one would take a 21-inch wheel too, but it just barely skimmed across the ground. You could turn it, it worked, but this one works a whole lot better. So an update on everything's been done. I got the oil done. I got 4 quarts of oil in it. I'm going to ride it around, then add more oil to it later just to make sure that it's at the right level after it warms up. Ride around a little bit just to get it warm. Then I also got the primary complete. That's done. And now I'm going to change out the transmission fluid. So everything's working along pretty good. That's the last thing I got going on with the transmission fluid. So you're going to take an Allen wrench here and get this loosened up. It's real easy. It's where you fill the transmission fluid. Okay, you got this thing, pull it out. Alright, so now I'm going to go underneath the motorcycle and drain the transmission fluid. Alright, so I got the transmission fluid draining now. After it drains all out, then I'm going to put the plug back in and start filling it up. The last step, we're going to be filling up with some V-twin transmission oil from Redline, and then we're going to take this thing for a ride. So let's get it filled up. All right guys, so we are complete, well, at least for now, what I'm going to do is take the motorcycle for a ride, come back and check the oil, come back and check the transmission fluid, and add a little bit more if necessary to each one of them. But now I'm going to get this off and take it for a ride. And I'm going to grab my helmet and you guys can go with me. So you might not see that on this video, but you'll see it on the upcoming video. So I better close this one out. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. That's a 3-hole change. Transmission, primary, and oil. All using Redline products. And it was really simple using my new Let's Roll dolly. The one that it's lifted up a little bit higher, so it gives you more ground clearance to put your oil pan and everything that you need for an oil change. Alright guys, well thank you for watching. But make sure you click on the next video, because there's going to be another video where I take it out for a ride and we're just going to make sure everything's good. Alright, so thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more like it, please subscribe. Keep gliding, and as always, have a blessed day. Now let's go for a ride.